Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
I posted a video about guys not knowing what they want in their 30s, and let me tell you, the comments have me like shook. The amount of men saying that they don't want to get married because they don't want to have to take care of a woman is like absolutely mind blowing to me. Like, love is dead. It's dead. Done.
Yeah, probably. Who knew that the I don't need no man will get an okay, fine as an answer? And as it turns out, men in their 30s do know what they want. They actually told you that you just didn't like the answer.
Something I'll never understand is why men get so angry and defensive when a girl says she wants someone to pay for a first date or to ask her out. Like, okay, if that is such a realistic thing for you to find someone who doesn't want you to pay for the first date, someone who will ask you out, then like, why is it such a problem? Like, if your dating pool is that big by following that, like, you shouldn't have an issue. I don't have an issue finding guys to pay for me on a first date or who will ask me out. That has been a very common recurrence in my life. So I just find it's like so funny when guys get so frustrated. It's like, if your ask is not unreasonable, why are you angry?
They're not angry, you're just projecting. They're not the ones talking about you, you're the one talking about them. A man simply saying he wants someone to go 50-50 on a first date, he's not saying that out of frustration. He's simply stating his preferences. How are you turning that into anger?
But this is the problem. It's not the actions of the few. You need to reverse that statement. It is the actions of most men. Most men. There are very few that do not act this way. You have the privilege of being a man in this world. We have the lived experience every single day since we are young women dealing with men like this. You will never in your lifetime feel safe as a woman as long as there are men in the world like this. And there are so many of them. They are everywhere, and comments like that just keep them in that cycle of never learning from their behavior. There are many wonderful men in this world. I'm engaged to one, but those are very hard to find. Men telling me not to speak about something that they have never experienced or will never experience is such a typical man behavior. My partner, the most beautiful, incredible, strong, masculine, but gentle and sensitive man, would never in a million years say to me when I tell him a story like that, oh babe, like don't say it's all men, like we're not all like that. No, because he's on my side.
And I really do feel sorry for the poor bastard for not even having the balls to stand up for himself. And I do think it's great you think you found the unicorn because all men are bad except for him, when in reality only a small percentage of men are bad and the most of us are good. And I also do think in a few years you'll realize you never found a unicorn, but instead you found a man that doesn't have the balls to stand up for himself. And that will be the time when you lose all respect you had for him, if you did had any, and you will leave him for that. And when that happens, I'm not gonna have any sympathy.
Stay the away from people who create drama for literally no reason and then somehow, some way flip the script and then make themselves the victim. Stay away. These people are poisonous.
Oh, okay. Stay away from women. Got it.
I asked all my guy friends what they find most attractive in women, and I narrowed it down to 8 common themes. Literally any woman can use these tips. Number 1 is feminine body language. This includes subtle touches, maybe like a hair flip to show your collarbone, or even leaning in during the conversation. Number 2 is eye contact. When you hold eye contact with a man, it releases oxytocin within you and him. Remember, oxytocin is the love hormone. It literally bonds you, and it also conveys confidence, which leads to point 3. Men are obsessed with women who are confident. This includes being happy, smiling, just in general, loving yourself. Pro tip on this is you could easily ask the app Astra, what makes you the most magnetic, and then hone in on that. 4 is emotional stability. Women who fly off the handle, not a hot energy. Number 5 is having a passion for life. Having passion is hot because A, it lights you up from the inside out, and B, men assume that passion leads into other areas, if you catch my drift. 6 is very undervalued. It's having curiosity. When you take interest in his life, he feels seen and understood by you. 7 is having boundaries. That shows that you are high value. It makes a man respect you more, and every man wants to date a woman he respects minimally. And 8 is women who are supportive but not overly dependent. You want to encourage him, but not make him feel like he's the center of your universe.
Anyone else here thinks she never spoke to a man but her girlfriends? Starting with body language, I've never heard a man saying, oh yeah, the most I find attractive in a woman is body language. And I'm even gonna ignore the high value woman because she had me with that Astra app. We all know that what men are most into is astrology.
Okay, I have a question for the girlfriends or girls. Are these things okay for your boyfriend to do to another girl, like for another girl? Okay, hear me out. And I'm asking this because it had happened to me, and then I was like, wait, how would I feel if my boyfriend did this to another girl? And I was like, So basically, I was grocery shopping out with my friends, and my bag was like really heavy because it had like milk and kombuchas and stuff. And then my guy friend was like, oh, here, let me hold it for you. And then he was like holding it out for me. And then I was like, oh, thanks. And I wasn't thinking much about it until he was holding it for like a pretty long time until we got to the car and we were putting it in the trunk. And I was like, wait, if that was my boyfriend doing that to another girl, like how would I feel? Like, I think it would be okay if it was like super, super heavy and the girl like couldn't hold it. But like those bags were manageable on my own. Like I could have hold it. But I was just like, would my boyfriend do that? Like, I'm not saying he needs to be very mean to other girls, but I don't want him to go out of his way to like help another girl, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. What did you expect him to do? Hold your bag for 5 minutes and then throw it back to you? You were all shopping. You were all doing the same exact things. You were all in that shopping center or wherever you were together. Shouldn't the question be more like, what was your boyfriend doing shopping with another girl instead of why was he holding her bag?
So I have a solution for the TikTok ban. How about we just keep using TikTok? We are millions, like there's millions of us Americans who use TikTok, and research data shows that 2/3 of Americans disapprove of the TikTok ban. Therefore, we are in the majority. While there's maybe a small group of people that are deciding this sitting in a room by themselves and they barely understand how to double click. This is not necessarily something that we have to listen to.
Oh, but it is. Now, I also don't know how this ban is gonna work exactly, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna just ask you politely, of course, hey, can you not use that app? Maybe. Was that really your point, while at the same time complaining about people who don't understand double click? Won't be more likely that they'll try to block all IP addresses from US to access that app? Or maybe even Apple will delete the app from your phone, like they've done it before with other apps?
So a lady from TikTok decided to go full HD Pro version of Karen. Apparently in one of my videos I was wearing my work uniform and you could see where I worked. This Karen decided to contact my bosses. Just so you know, your employee Quinn posts these incredibly rude and disrespectful videos on TikTok. And if he's still employed there, that'll stop people from coming into your restaurant, including myself. So I get to work and my boss calls me into the office. Quinn, you know damn well I think your TikToks are absolutely funny, but with a complaint like this, we have to go to the owners. Oh, joy. The owners get there and they say, hey Quinn, listen, we understand that you like posting videos, but restaurants need to have a certain image, right? Yes. So you understand if somebody tries to hurt that image, we have to get rid of them. Yeah, I understand. However, we do not give a flying what image we portray on those Karens. So you keep doing you and tell those Karens to get fucked. Ha ha! Best owners ever.
The fact that people would rather learn Mandarin than use Instagram Reels. The fact that people would rather download a platform that they've never used before in a language that they don't speak than use something that's here readily available because it is what? It is unusable.
Yeah, these are the people I should feel sorry for no longer having access to the sewage of society. And of course, Instagram is unusable now for most of these people because now they're allowing freedom of speech on that platform. And of course, at least 99% of these TikTokers have an IG link in their bio. But in case you've missed it, they all claim they're not gonna use IG, they're gonna go over to Red Note. What is Red Note, you may ask? Well, Red Note is a localized adaptation of Instagram in China. So it only makes sense running away from the original IG to a localized adaptation that is in a language you don't understand. I'm gonna try to keep this short, but this article said the great social media migration, sudden influx of US users to Red Note connects Chinese and Americans like never before. We'll get to that in a second. Like this lady here had the rubber said in a video on Shoo. We're just going to a new Chinese app and here we are. Okay, but why? What's so appealing about the Chinese app? Needless to say, this is what the Chinese think about all the Americans migrating to a Chinese app. Alright, this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and I will see you in the next one.